with Dylan Marsh, and I'm joined with the best big three there ever will be.
All right, so this is Sports Talk with Dylan Marsh, joined with JD, Garrett, producer Zach, and special guest Katie behind the camera. They're hanging out, and this is going to be a fun one. I really like what we're going to talk about today. We're going to start off. We are talking about Lamar Jackson winning the Heisman Trophy on Saturday, and deservingly so. I believe he really did deserve it. There's an award that I'm glad he did not win, and we're going to discuss about that later, but I'm sure, I think I know your answer. You think Lamar definitely earned Definitely earned the Heisman Trophy. Statistically, he definitely deserved it. I got a couple of very, I guess you can say, things about his last 4 games of the season where I could put up a debate for someone else to win. What about you, James?
I'm right there with you, Dylan. His stats definitely surpassed like everyone in that. He definitely won it off just stats. But in my eyes, a Heisman winner is someone who puts up those stats against somebody who's actually a valuable defense.
Yeah.
That year.
Yeah, Louisville is in a Power 5 conference.
But I mean, like, Clemson's defense was down this year. Florida State's defense was down this year. If he would, I'm asking, do you think he would do that in the SEC every week?
Well, we'll find out.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what he does to LSU. I'm not sure.
I think LSU is really going to, I'm not going to say necessarily shut him down, but I don't think it's going to be a good day for him.
Yeah, I don't
Seeing
either.
this LSU defense play, and this isn't a Florida State defense. This is this is a Dave Aranda, fully stacked and loaded defense that's really fired up. And I think they're going to play very well since Orgeron actually has the head coaching job now. So they'll play for him, I believe.
Coach O.
But there were a couple other awards. And one award I'm glad Lamar Jackson did not win, and Deshaun Watson did. He won the Davey O'Brien, which is the National Quarterback Award. And I do not think Deshaun Watson earned that award. He's a great quarterback.
You think Lamar?
No. I think Baker Mayfield honestly should have won that.
Well,
but like if you're talking statistics wise, Baker Mayfield should have won that award. But he is leading teams into a one-loss season into the playoff.
Right.
So, that one game against Pitt was pretty bad. But again, like one of our friends said earlier, he did throw for about over 500 yards.
But he had 3 picks.
And I think he has like 15 on the year too, which is a big. And that stands out to me a lot.
Like I always go back to it. That also has to do with his defense putting him in bad spots where they have to throw the ball 80% of the game.
Yeah, when they're behind, or right there with them. My thing with Deshaun is that his team is in the best position to do the best of all the 4 teams that were represented at the Heisman thing and at the other awards with the other quarterbacks. And so, I mean, Clemson is right there in the Final Four, and they have the best chance. And in my opinion, I think they're the only team that will come close to beating Alabama. And I think that they'll still lose by 20 points, but no one else comes close.
Man, people are really high up on this Bama horse, aren't they? All right.
Yeah, Washington. What are you gonna do?
What?
They're gonna get blown out.
Okay. We're gonna electric chair that one.
It's gonna be 49-10.
We're going to electric 10. Whatever you say, electric whatever that one.
Electric chair.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. We will do that. All right, and then also D.D. Westbrook winning outstanding receiver of the Lord. I think it's called the Belinkinoff. I don't know how to pronounce it. But
well deserved.
Westbrook definitely really deserved that one for sure. And the National Running Back Award went to Deontay Foreman.
Yeah,
I was very surprised because he ran over 2,000 yards, but it's just me hating Texas. I did not like that choice at all. And but one award I really did like was Mike McIntyre, head coach for Colorado, winning Coach of the Year. Definitely turned that team around. I think it was either going to be him or head coach at Miami and Mark Richt. Yes, they're not doing really great, but he has turned that football team around.
Yeah, in my opinion, though, it's almost expected of Mark Richt to do that at Miami. But for Mike McIntyre, that was not it. Wasn't he there last year and they went like 3-9 or something like that?
Yeah.
They didn't do well at all, and they gave him another chance, and now he proved himself. Exactly. I like that a lot.
And of course, Alabama dominating all the defensive players awards.
Jonathan Allen,
Reuben Foster.
Jonathan Allen won 2.
And Tre'Davious White from LSU getting snubbed for the Jim Thorpe Award, I think.
Yeah.
Scroll down a little bit, Zach. he lost to USC defensive back
Adoree
Jackson, and I really thought Tre'Davious White deserved that trophy. Shreveport's own, just killed it this year.
318
held down that LSU defense, but
either him or because that's defensive back in general, right? That could be safeties too. I mean, Jamal Adams was right there with him.
Yeah,
and so I think when they looked at it, they thought, well, we really can't give it to one LSU player over the other, kind of like the Heisman.
I'm going to throw another name out there. I thought a lot of people were sleeping on Desmond King from Iowa.
He had a very good season.
He is honestly, in my eyes, he's the most underrated defensive back coming out.
Isn't he only like a junior?
He's a senior this year.
Oh, he was a senior. Okay, I thought he had a year left.
Yeah, he's going to get drafted.
Yeah.
I think he'll get drafted in the top.
Yeah.
I think he'll be at the top corner or defense back taken in the draft this year.
T. White and Jamal Adams are supposed to go pretty high, so we'll see.
Well, all right. Before we leave, I was going to give a shout out to
Trevor
Knight. I'm sorry. Before we move on, to Trevor Knight winning the Community Service Award, the Danny Werfel Trophy. Well deserved, great guy there. I really like him. I like how he's not a.
We can all root for him. He went to Oklahoma A&M.
Yeah, and he's just a standout guy.
Yeah, he is, definitely.
Guy. And an award that didn't get put on TV, but Jabril Peppers won Most Versatile Player of the Year. So, hey, shout out to him.
I think he blew that one out of the water. I don't think anyone else came close. Maybe Adoree because he can return punts, but
yeah, that's about it. But let's go ahead and move on to the NFL. And one thing I really wanted to look at was the NFL divisions. Like 3 divisions of each AFC and NFC are very close or tied. And I'm just going to go ahead and start off with the AFC South because everyone in that division is just god awful. So you got the Titans, Colts, and Texans all 6-6 tied for first place, with the Jacksonville Jaguars tied for second at 2-10. Yeah. So it just shows the AFC South, and I am a Texans fan that is dying on the inside because of Brock Osweiler. Even though they're beating the Colts last time I checked.
Yeah, it's
but I'm not
13-10 right now.
13-10.
No, 13-3, my bad.
13-3. Wow. Osweiler's doing something.
Has Hopkins scored, or does he only have one catch?
2.
Who scored? C.J. Fedorowicz?
No, it was Lamar Miller.
Lamar Miller, of course, the workhorse of the Texans. Texans are 5-1
right
at the home at NRG Stadium and 1-5 on the road.
Yeah.
We've lost 3 in a row, so this is a very bad year for fans like me. But
$72 million right down the drain.
Exactly, I never liked it. Not
right
one
down
bit.
the drain.
And I'm going to go ahead, and we're going to go ahead and move on to the AFC North with the Raiders and the Ravens and the Steelers.
Oh, and before we move on,
both 7-5. What?
What you think about the Titans right now, Dylan?
Yeah, they're up 13-0 on Denver.
Oh, are they really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think they're gonna end up winning that.
Yeah,
division.
I think they'll win that division too.
Well, if that's the case, I would not be shocked because every team in there sucks. But they do have DeMarco Murray, the second leading rusher in the league right now, and Derrick Henry, no sign of being anywhere on the football field.
Yeah.
But let's move on to AFC North between the rivalry of the Ravens and the Steelers. Both 7-5. Ravens are playing the Patriots today, which I think could be an upset.
Tomorrow
night.
Was it tomorrow night?
Yeah, tomorrow
night.
And
the Steelers are coming in both on winning streaks. Ravens won past 2. Raiders won 3 in a row.
Steelers up 14-7 right now.
So, JD, who do you think is going to win this division between the Steelers and the Ravens? The Browns might come back.
I think, honestly, where's the next matchup between them at?
Oh, my goodness. Zach, click on the Steelers. I want to say it's in a couple weeks, actually.
No, I'm saying where is it at? That's what I was wondering. Go down schedule.
Okay, second to last game.
Yeah, it's at home.
I'm going to say Pittsburgh wins just because they'll have the home field advantage over Baltimore. Mm-hmm. And it's very hard to win at Heinz Field, so that's where I'm going with Pittsburgh.
Their defense in these last few games, I think, is averaging 3 or 4 sacks a game right now. They're really playing well. They're really playing well. That offense can clearly score. They can score plenty of points. Le'Veon Bell, Antonio Brown. If Sammy Coates could catch the ball in the end zone after he's there's no one within 20 yards of him. He could just catch it.
Well, what did I say at the beginning of the year? It's before we had this podcast going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
I was.
Well, then I'm not sure what you said.
I was doing a podcast with a dude named Adrian, and we were giving our future Super Bowl, our beginning of the year Super Bowl predictions, and I actually predicted the Ravens.
Yeah.
So, hey, I still have a shot at that.
Yeah,
and,
maybe so.
Hey, you never know because they were a wild card team when they won it against 49ers in New Orleans. So, let's move on to AFC West, the most exciting one, of course, with the Chiefs
best
and
division
Raiders,
in football.
10-3, and then the Broncos right behind them at 8-4. And, again, if the Broncos do not make the playoffs, it's absurd. It's crazy how that's going to work out. So either the Chiefs, Raiders, or the Broncos are not going to make the playoffs. And right now, it's looking like the Broncos.
Yeah.
And that's going to be I wonder when the last time a Super Bowl winning team did not make the playoffs the next year.
Yeah, I know.
So
Patriots.
Was it the Patriots? That's right, because
Tom Brady went out.
No, it was the year after they, whenever he went down.
Yeah, when he tore his ACL.
Yeah.
So I'm taking the Raiders to actually no. I'm gonna have to take the Chiefs because the Chiefs.
I was about to say they got that head.
They got the head-to-head win. But the Raiders they're gonna get that wild card, and I think if they meet up, I'm gonna take the Raiders in that one.
Yeah, I'm going Chiefs all the way. I like the Raiders. I think that offense is high powered. It's starting to remind me of the 2009 2010 Saints a little bit with the way Derek Carr spreads that ball around.
Yeah, exactly.
And finds the open man. But maybe I have a little Chiefs bias because I got 3 or 4 of their guys on my fantasy team. Shout out Spencer Ware, Travis Kelce, Kansas City defense. But, yeah, I like the Chiefs. I like the way that defense is playing right now. And, man, who was it? Derek Johnson ruptured his Achilles. He's out for the season. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's going to hurt them. But I think they have some young guys like D Ford. And
D Ford is actually very underrated.
He's playing very well, and he'll step in where Derek Johnson was and take over. And they got the head-to-head, and I think that's what's going to – now, how far they go in the playoffs, I don't know, but I think they win the AFC West.
And go me for not starting Tyreek Hill Thursday night or Latavius Murray. So it was a great day in the Marsh household for fantasy on Thursday night. I was not mad at all. So, all right, Jay, who do you got in between the Raiders and the Chiefs? Well, we know the Chiefs are probably going to make the playoffs if they win out. But if they go up against in the playoffs, who do you think is going to win?
Chiefs.
Think the Chiefs?
Because just watching those two matchups this year, the Kansas City defense just has Derek Carr's number right now.
Yeah.
And I don't believe he'll be able to move the ball on them, especially with Tom Hawley and Justin Houston coming around the ends.
Yeah.
It's going to be very difficult for him to get passes off, and he doesn't get the ball out quick enough, in my opinion.
Yeah, they held him to 117 yards on 40 attempts, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he had a 9.6 quarterback rating.
Yeah, that's the second time that's ever happened in NFL history.
But also
117.
I think that Pinky had something.
Yeah,
like
maybe
too.
so, but the game before that he did pretty well.
It's a combination of both.
Yeah. What's that?
It was also cold when they were playing there. And they were saying, the people were saying, since the fact that it was cold, that it could have had more effect on his pinky.
Alex Smith did fine. He's a cold weather guy. Apparently.
Yeah, but he only averages 11 touchdowns a season too, so they don't throw the ball too much.
I mean, hey, he got the job done.
Oh, he wins. He wins, and then when he goes to the Super Bowl, he sits on the bench.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like I said, I don't know how far they'll make it, but they'll win.
The AFC East, it's the Patriots. We all know that. So, does that go up to the NFC, and let's talk about that.
You're not giving the Jets a chance?
No, I'm not giving anybody a chance.
Oh. All right.
And, the Giants and the Cowboys play tonight. It looks like the Cowboys, they've already clinched a playoff spot, so we don't have to really worry about that. But we're going to talk about the Cowboys and Giants here in a minute after this division segment. But we're going to go ahead and go to the NFC North with the Lions 8-4 on a 4-game win streak. But the Vikings are still 6-6, so they still have a shot at winning this division. It's basically the Lions are controlling their own destiny right now. But with Adrian Peterson might be coming back. I don't think it's going to be a huge factor. But do you think the Vikings can pull it out, or even the Packers?
Yeah, I was about to say, are we just throwing Green Bay out already?
Because the Packers are 6-6 too, and they're
who has that head-to-head with Vikings and Packers?
Vikings right now.
Vikings have it.
Okay.
So I got a good feeling about Minnesota for some reason. I don't know why. I would love to see the Lions. I would actually love to see the Lions in the playoffs with how well they're playing and how Stafford's actually spreading the ball around without Calvin Johnson there.
When they lose like 4 out of 5.
What?
I know they lost 2 in a row. The Vikings have, but didn't they lose like 4 out of 5 games?
Yeah, they lost 4 out of 5, and then
they lost another.
Then they fired the
2
offensive
more.
coordinator.
Yeah.
But the Lions, the way they're playing.
Oh yeah, that's crazy. Like they came out of nowhere. They just.
Well, it's the thing. It's Calvin Johnson was holding him back.
I
Calvin
think so.
Johnson was he was a guy who basically in his contract, I'm pretty sure, said he required at least 9 attempts to him a game.
Yeah.
And Stafford would just chunk the ball to him on double, maybe even triple coverage, and hoping he can just go up and get it. And now Stafford sees the talent he has with a great accusation but whatever. They picked up Anquan Bolden, and then Golden Tate's going off, and they got that rookie in Marvin Lewis Jr., right?
No, Marvin Jones Jr.,
Marvin
but
Jones
he's not a
Jr.
rookie.
He's not a rookie? I thought he was a rookie.
No, he played for Cincinnati last year.
Okay, that's where I've heard him from. Yeah. Okay. But with a great receiving core and Riddick in the backfield, this offense is probably the most high-powered in the whole league besides
Jim Bob
Saints
Cooter.
right now. And
Jim Bob Cooter's doing it. He's opening up that field, man. He is getting all of those receivers and Theo Riddick involved as much as possible. I think that I loved Calvin Johnson, loved Megatron. Don't get me wrong, but like you said, that was definitely holding Stafford back a lot because he's thinking in the back of his mind, well, I got to throw it to him if he's got only one guy on him, whether he has to go up and get it. I still got to get the ball to him, and now he's able to look for those guys. And Golden Tate's opening up the pass game a lot for him. Marvin Jones has done well, even though Marvin Jones has been injured the last couple of games. Golden Tate's there. Anquan Bolden is a good veteran guy. They got safety blanket. They got Ebron back. Yeah, that pass game is looking.
Work on the defense, and they will be a Super Bowl contender for sure.
Yeah.
All right, Jay.
I think the Vikings are out of the equation now because they just can't move the ball.
Yeah.
But I think that honestly, even though the Packers have the Seahawks today, they might be able to pull that one out. But I have a feeling that they're going to catch the Lions and win this division somehow.
All right.
I mean,
you said the Packers.
Yep.
Who they play today?
Seattle.
Nah, that's a loss. They'll be 6-7.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and we're going to move on to our last one, the NFC South with the Saints and the Panthers, shockingly, out of the equation. And you got the Falcons and the Buccaneers at 7-5. Buccaneers won 4 in a row. Jameis Winston's killing it right now. Mike Evans is having a heck of a season.
Are the Saints out of it?
I think so.
They can win 4 straight.
I don't think that's going to happen though.
But if they do win 4 straight,
I specifically remember you, Brandon, and everybody in the group message laughing at me when I said it was either going to be Tampa Bay or Atlanta winning this division this year.
No, you said it was definitely going to be Tampa Bay, and we all thought that it was going to be Atlanta.
No, y'all all said Carolina. I said
anyways.
All right. Well, with the Falcons and Matt Ryan, who I still think could be an MVP candidate right now.
Yeah.
And Julio Jones is out today, so that might be a big factor.
And Mohamed Sanu.
Oh, Sanu's out too. So basically, they're going to have to rely on the run game, basically, and hope that the receivers don't drop the ball. But the Buccaneers, Jameis Winston, and that defense, anchored down by Gerald McCoy.
They've won 4 in a row. That's crazy.
They're killing it right now. And everyone started noticing the Buccaneers against Seattle and how they held Russell Wilson to hardly anything. So the Buccaneers, I think, are actually for real. If they make it to the playoff, I would not be shocked if they make a good run.
And you know what the sad thing is? They're 2-4 at home, but 5-1 on the road.
Yeah,
that makes no sense to me.
Yeah, but look at the Falcons. They're 3-3 on at home.
Yeah,
and they play in the Atlanta
Dome.
One of the loudest. They even put noise in their speakers to make it louder.
Yeah,
so I don't see how they're not winning at home.
You think they still do that?
No, they got busted. They ain't doing
I'd
that
love to think. I'm gonna think they still do that.
All right. Well, the Seahawks, as usual, they're undefeated at home. They're leading the West by man, that's about what, like 4 games.
Yeah.
Right there. The Cardinals disappointment at 5-6. Then I'm excited. Let's talk about this Cowboy Giants game real quick.
Yeah.
And the weather is going to be a huge factor. There's
21-10 Cowboys.
55% chance of snow at kickoff, and it just gets better at that. It's supposed to be around 32 to 34 degrees with winds going at about 7 miles an hour.
Dak can handle it.
Do you think, if it snows, do you think Dak, Ezekiel Elliott, and these, well, Dak definitely has never played in the snow. I doubt he has. And
You don't think it snowed at Mississippi State?
shut up, Garrett. And it definitely didn't snow in Louisiana. So I have a feeling that if it snows, or even just if it just somehow gets colder, I'm taking the Giants in this one because, one, they're used to it, and Eli actually tends to do great in the rain or in snow weather games. And it's at the Giants. It's, Cowboys already made the playoff spot.
Would that put them ahead of the Cowboys in the
No.
NFC East? I didn't think so.
No, it wouldn't.
But they've won both of them.
But if they win, they will put themselves up by at least one game in the wild card.
Okay.
So,
okay.
They have something to actually play for. I know the Cowboys are trying to get home field advantage.
Right.
But I'm taking, as much as I want to pick the boys and Dak Prescott in this football game, I can't just on the case. If it snows, I think it's over. I think Giants win by at least 14. I don't know why. I don't think Dak's going to do very well in the cold, or Elliott. I don't think Dan Bailey.
Elliott's used to it though. He's from.
You're doubting
up there.
Dan the man.
Dan the man, kicking the ball in that weather. We don't know.
Look,
I'm going to see how it is, but I'm taking the Giants in this one.
Yeah.
Just on the fact that if it snows or just sleets or something, I don't know. I just don't think the Cowboys are really used to playing in the cold, and the Giants are, and I just can't. If I was betting money on it, I'd take the Giants.
I'll say I won't be surprised if the Giants win, but I don't think that it's going to be by 14. I think that it'll be, if they win, it'll be 20-17 or 20-14.
Well, hold on a second.
What you got? What you got?
Louisville. Starting linebackers James Hearns and Henry Famura. I don't even know his last name. They were both shot at a party Saturday, but injuries are not considered life-threatening.
Are they starters?
Yes.
It said starting linebackers?
It said starting linebacker, and it said one,
so
and it said another one.
Geis is going to run for 450 yards.
Yeah, probably. But, yeah, that's basically...
Are you going to that game, Katie? The LSU Louisville game? No, you're not. We'll be in Vegas.
We'll be
we'll be in Vegas for Christmas.
Who has
wow.
your ticket?
Well,
she has to buy those
all
tickets.
right, so, JD, who do you have in that game, bub?
With Jason Pierre-Paul being out.
Yeah.
And if it does
I forgot
snow,
about
Dylan.
Someone needs to give him a hand.
If it does snow, I think the Cowboys will be forced to go to their most dangerous option on offense, and that is the run game and behind that offensive line. I think
he can run in the cold.
And without
we'll see.
Without JPP plugging up that middle, it's gonna open up holes, and I think that Ezekiel Elliott will be able to gash him, and that's gonna open up the play action for Dak. So I'm with you, Garrett. I think it's going to be more along the lines of like 28-13 Dallas.
Yeah.
But, I got Dallas.
Well, and another thing with that is, run, play action. Dak doesn't throw it far down the field to begin with.
Run with Dak.
Yeah, there you go. Just take off every play, Dak. Just run. Don't listen
but
to Jerry Jones.
they're going into this game running the football with a secondary of the Giants.
and he throws 7 or 8 yards down the field at a time. Like, he can just throw it down to the check down at Witten, throw it to the check down at Elliott, throw it on a crossing route to Cole Beasley, and then maybe go over the top to Dez, but he doesn't really have to worry about that because he's got those other weapons that he loves to use in the short game, in the short passing game.
Yeah, my point of him playing in the cold, I'm not meaning throwing the football, but it's not drastically cold. It's only going to be 32 degrees. But if it snows,
that's a big deal.
You think it's colder than it actually is.
Right.
So it might be a psychological thing. Yes, Dak is so mentally mature
Yeah.
But if you're not used to playing in it, like Aaron Rodgers or even Eli Manning,
Jay Cutler, even.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
he's
Jay
good in the
Cutler,
snow.
And if you're not used to it, then it's going to have a little effect on how you play the football.
Definitely.
Because you're going to think in your head, be cautious. And when you're cautious, you will make mistakes. I know you're trying not to, but when you're being too cautious, you will. So, all right, what happened there?
Someone's Snapchatting me, apparently.
All right. Well, let's go ahead. We're going to do this new segment that I like to call Don't Be That Guy. And, JD, did you ever pick a Do Not Be That Guy?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll do that in a second. I'm just making sure you did. So let's go ahead and get started on that. So I worked very hard on this video to see if it actually works.
Oh, yeah.
Now it's time for Don't Be That Guy.
I don't want to be that guy.
So let's go ahead and start Don't Be That Guy. I'm going to go first. I actually have the video of this, and it's okay, of course. Let's go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and start the video, and I'm going to talk about, you don't even have to have the sound on for it, but look, Steph Curry signing his game-worn shoes after the loss to the Grizzlies. And this is what I like about Steph Curry. He's such a standout guy off the court. I love him as a person. He's a great Christian. And see what he's doing after a loss. He still wants to give, fans at an away game, still a Warrior fan, but give his shoes away after a loss. And look at this. He's giving them. He signed each pair. He gives a pair to a little kid wearing his jersey. And look at that. A grown man snatches the shoes out of the kid's hands and tries to run away, but the security stops him and throws him down and actually gets the shoe to give back to the kid. And so, if you're going to be that big of a douche,
that infuriates me. That makes me so mad.
Okay, well, first off, this dude played 31 minutes running up and down a court, so it stinks. It's probably wet of sweat. And
he's probably not even a Warriors fan.
And you want to take a shoe, a grown man's shoe. It's different if you're a kid. Kids don't care about that. But then, a kid has it, and he just made his life because Steph Curry is, I hate to say, but he's like idols to these kids.
He's an NBA superstar.
You're coming and taking something he gave to that kid who you can tell he really loves.
That guy was probably in the stands all night screaming, "Screw you, Curry, screw you," and taunting him and yelling at him.
You know how they are in Memphis,
act like a child.
But, don't be that guy. Why would you? When I see at baseball games a grown man who dives 6 rows up to catch a foul ball,
bro, you can go buy a baseball at Academy.
Like, why would you do
cents.
that? Or if a kid's going for it, and even if they get the ball and there's a little kid staring at them, if the little kid was close, and a kid's just staring at him, that actually somewhat makes me upset. You don't even get to the kid,
right?
Because yes, it means a lot to you. You might be a huge fan, but really, what does that ball mean to you? Because you're older, you know it's just a baseball, but to them it's something that they can keep for a while and grow up and sit there and be like, well, I finally have a baseball. You're grown, and
it's just not acting like an adult.
You don't need a memory from the game because you can actually remember it. You're old. You have, like, you're going to be able to remember stuff. So it's like if there's like a 6-year-old kid who can hardly remember the game, why not give him a baseball to help him remember that game by? I don't know. It really ticks me off when adults do that to kids.
You know what? They
deserve to get kicked out of the game.
Yeah,
I think.
Definitely. My favorite thing when it comes to that is the kids at baseball games that are like 12, 13, 11 or 12 years old, catch a foul ball, turn around and give it to the attractive girl sitting behind him. Mm-hmm. She's probably like 25, 26, way older than him, but he's still,
Did you see the old switcheroo he did with the girl? He had a regular baseball, and he caught a foul ball, and he kept the foul ball, and he turned around.
Yeah, and gave her the not foul ball.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
Yeah, that's
so good.
So, Garrett, let's go ahead and go, JD. Who's your Don't Be That Guy?
Jerry Jones.
Jerry Jones.
Oh, God. Why?
Because he keeps giving all the Romo lovers of the Cowboys fans hope that we're going to see Romo come back and take over the Cowboys team.
God,
I just wish he would put it to rest that Romo's going to come back and play and just let Dak be the starting quarterback. Quit trying to ruin the momentum of the Cowboys. So, Jerry, don't be that guy. Force your hand and put Tony in whenever you have the hot hand right now.
Yeah, if his son doesn't stay, Jerry wanted to draft Johnny Manziel, and we see where that would have gotten him.
Oh yeah.
Hey, maybe he would have stayed a little straighter in Dallas, and he'd be backing Dak up right now, or he could have been the starter, and their season they'd be 1-11 and not 11-1 if Johnny was a starter. And I hate saying that coming from, I'm a Manziel fan, but if he doesn't listen to his son in this situation, he's going to end up starting Romo, and he's going to end up throwing their season down the drain. They're going to get into the first round of the playoffs and have to play somebody like Seattle. I have
listened to this scenario, though. I have thought about what if during practice, like after all the media leaves and everything, Romo is having Dak running routes and practicing with him and all the receivers, and then say they make it to the Super Bowl with Dak, and then all of a sudden they just throw Tony out there and Dak's playing slot receiver for him.
What? Why would they do that?
Just like you don't have any film on it. I don't know. No. Obviously, I don't think that's going to happen.
They wouldn't let the quarterback of their future take a chance out there to tear his ACL.
But seriously, though,
okay,
would that not be crazy?
I mean, it'd be crazy, but I don't think it's logical.
This is the same guy who told me that I was stupid for saying the thing about Jim Harbaugh a couple weeks ago, and he comes up with that. All right, well, Garrett.
Dak playing slot.
All right, Garrett, who's yours?
My Don't Be That Guy of the Week is none other than my favorite commentator, Gary Danielson. And when I say favorite, I mean least favorite. Gary Danielson, your buddy Vern's leaving. He's gone.
Yes.
Gone forever. I like Vern. I'm a fan of Vern. He's a great commentator. Wow. But Gary Danielson, don't be that guy and stay at CBS. Go ahead and leave with your buddy Vern.
He doesn't want to stay at Brad Nessler?
And save us all the agony. I'm tired of watching the games on CBS and muting the TV and watching the games on mute and silent because he's commentating. I refuse to listen to any of the games that he does, and I feel bad because, like I said, I love Vern. Can't stand Gary Danielson. I was yesterday at the Army-Navy game. I was waiting for him to come out with these teams are looking pretty sharp right now, but neither of them would stand a chance against Alabama.
Yeah, because
I was
exactly
waiting for that.
I was watching the...
He's kind of like Chris Collinsworth to me with you.
See, I love Collinsworth, though. I love Collinsworth.
Collinsworth is so much better. Because Collinsworth is not biased toward anybody, really. He's just annoying.
Gary Danielson starts sweating and getting nervous when he gets around Nick Saban in Alabama because he just can't control himself. Like he's in love with Alabama.
The Alabama-Ole Miss game. I think on a second drive, Chad Kelly gets hit in the helmet.
Yeah,
it should have been a targeting penalty, and he sat there and he defended like it was clearly a targeting penalty. Yeah. And he said, "I don't know, his head wasn't down, the crown of his helmet did not hit. His helmet was his face mask, whatever." And he was standing up for the Alabama player. Very next play, Jalen Hurts gets hit in the neck.
Yep, and he's all over it.
No. People on Twitter went off about it. He spent 3.5 minutes talking about like the game happened, and I think Alabama punted and Ole Miss had like a decent punt return and then a good run. And after that, like 4 plays later, Danielson goes back to the replay when Hurts gets hit.
Yeah.
And is like, look, that's clearly a targeting.
Yeah.
I'm like,
he's so biased. Biased.
I cannot stand the whole. And one thing that really bothered me is I love enthusiasm.
Yeah.
And whenever, it's like I noticed it definitely in the LSU-Alabama game. Or maybe not this one because LSU didn't score, but I've noticed in LSU-Alabama games that whenever Bama scores, it's touchdown Alabama. And when LSU scores, he never says really LSU. He usually just goes touchdown Louisiana State.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me? This is why no one likes you,
and it's small things like that.
But, hey, he did it for 50 years, so, my hat's off to him. He did it for 50 years without getting fired, so that's good. But if Danielson's still going to be there, that's the one. I'd prefer Vern over Danielson for sure.
Much. But wasn't it Gary Danielson that saw what's her name, AJ McCarron's girlfriend in the crowd?
No, that was
Brad Nessler.
No, it wasn't Brad Nessler. It was someone else.
I thought it was Gary.
No, it was a dude who wears glasses.
Okay, well, it wouldn't have surprised me if it was Gary.
No, it was not him. That guy doesn't work for ESPN anymore.
Oh, yeah.
But, Brad Nessler is going to replace Vern Lundquist so it might make it a little better. Brad Nessler is actually a decent
they need to put Chris Collinsworth as NBC, though, right?
Huh?
Isn't Chris Collinsworth NBC?
Yeah.
Yeah, he needs to transfer over, start working for CBS, and get on with and stop doing the NFL and start doing college football with.
Dude, he's getting paid way too much.
I know, but with Gary, because when Gary says something dumb, Chris Collinsworth is going to be the one to be like, Gary,
That'd be the
shut
worst combination ever.
That'd be pretty bad. But all right, so that's our "Do Not Be That Guy" of the week segment, and I actually love it because we actually got into it, and it helps us vent. It helps us
definitely
get it off our chest and let everyone else know.
I'll probably have Gary Danielson every week.
Every week. All right, yeah. You just got to bring up a certain situation. All right, so we're going to move on to our last topic, and it's NBA. We've got a bunch of topics for it, but let's go ahead and something that really pisses me off, and it's
Use the P word, Dylan.
I don't care because I'm a Maverick fan.
Yeah.
And I love Mark Cuban, but I'm also a huge Oklahoma City fan, and I love Oklahoma City.
Mm-hmm.
But Mark Cuban said the other day that Russell Westbrook is still not a superstar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mark.
That's like saying you're
Mark,
not a multi-millionaire yet.
He probably still thinks Dirk is in his prime. So
Can I change my "Don't Be That Guy" segment
to Mark Cuban?
Oh, gosh. He sits there and says Russell Westbrook is not a superstar yet. He's saying this a season. Russell Westbrook, it's getting close. No, it's not really close to half the season, but he's averaging a triple double.
Yeah,
he soars in the sky and he can dunk on anybody in the league. He is the most athletic player in the NBA. He is top 4 best player in the NBA if you quit taking so many shots. And then you're going to sit there and say, he's not a superstar. This guy is a superstar because I think this made him a superstar even more because he decided to stay in Oklahoma City. I really think that was a big deal for him.
It's his team now. It's
his team,
solely his team,
and he's getting recognized more for staying and because Kevin Durant's not there. But you cannot say this guy's not a superstar when he outplayed Kevin Durant in the playoffs.
Yeah,
so he's averaging a triple double.
Dude, you don't have to keep going on and on. That was clearly the dumbest thing Mark Cuban has ever said.
We're gonna leave Mark Cuban alone, let him go fuss about
I feel
Donald
like we
Trump
should.
being elected
I think we should roast
whatever
him.
He's going to.
I like Mark, but
he's gonna he fusses about everything. It seems
Stick
like
to Shark Tank.
But
that's.
Let's continue with Russell Westbrook. He against the Rockets had a 7th straight triple double, and he ties Michael Jordan for the most consecutive triple.
Did they win that game?
No, Houston won.
Yeah, we lost it
102-99.
That was a very good football game.
Basketball game. It was very
good.
But
do you think he's going to get number 8 and surpass Michael Jordan for this prestigious?
They play Boston
streak?
tonight. Yeah.
You think he will?
Yeah.
So I'm actually going to try to.
I'm starting him in daily fantasy. So we'll see.
You should start him every single week.
Daily fantasy.
What?
All right, but what do you see in Russell Westbrook? Why does it look like someone peed in his Cheerios every morning? Why does he play with such
He's always been like that, but now it's his team, and so he doesn't have to worry. And I don't even think he really cared what Kevin Durant thought. I mean, he was going to do what he wanted to regardless, but now he can definitely do what he wants, and he's out there hopping around. I mean, like who said it? LeBron. He's like an Energizer bunny. That's just what he. I mean, that's what he is. He's out there jumping all over the place, getting rebounds, throwing that nasty pass down low to Andre Roberson. I mean, that was sick.
His court vision is just as good as Kyrie Irving's and Chris Paul's.
Well, I think LeBron has incredible court vision too.
Well, I'm comparing him to point.
No,
to point guards.
Definitely, yeah.
And so I'm amazed at what he's doing this year, and I don't think Oklahoma City's got a shot in the playoffs at all.
I mean, what aren't they? 14-5 right now, or 15-6, or no? It's like 12-6.
I just think the way that we are playing is not a way to go into the playoffs. But with I'm not really shocked that it happened, but we're gonna go ahead and skip down to the Warriors losing last night to the Memphis Grizzlies, and I forgot what the score was. It was
110-89.
Yeah, 110-89. And this is what good defense is going to do for you in the NBA.
Yeah, and see, my thing is that good defense, but at the same time, very good coaching because Memphis is really banged up right now.
Yeah, they are.
They don't have Mike Conley. They don't have 2 or 3 other guys, but Gasol is obviously very good at defense. He shut Draymond down. I don't know who shut KD down.
Probably Tony Allen shut down the whole
probably
front court.
so. Yeah.
And then Marc Gasol probably helped with the Draymond Green thing.
Definitely.
Marc Gasol is actually, I think, one of the best centers.
JaMychal Green has been playing out of his mind for Memphis lately.
Yeah, he had
He's
14
doing really
points
well.
last night. He went 4 for 7 and 2 for 2 on threes. And, I think Memphis took one more three than the Golden State last night.
Yeah, that's what Zach was saying. That's crazy.
This shows what a good defense will do for you, especially if you make the playoffs. And Memphis looks like they will. They're 17-8, and look at this, Kevin Durant
without Mike Conley,
Kevin Durant 7 for 13 on field goals, 3 for 6. Steph Curry,
that's not terrible.
4 shots made out of 14 attempts.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yes,
3 of 11.
3 of 11.
Bad, yeah.
So he only took 3 2-pointers basically, and then Klay Thompson 4 for 14, 0 for 3 on 3-pointers.
Klay,
so
nice.
Most inconsistent player in the NBA, goes 60 points and then doesn't make a 3-pointer. So this shows Golden State's vulnerability, and I think that this Memphis team, how they've always been a defensive team, just like the Spurs, but they don't have the offense like the Spurs do. And we'll talk about the Spurs in a second, but with the Memphis Grizzlies, they have players that play strict defense, but they're not great scoring. And they just had a good night with making, I think, 8 3-pointers on the night. And they didn't do really well for their bench. Really outscored the starting players.
Yeah,
but
they got Zach Randolph coming off the bench right now,
yeah,
and he would probably start somewhere else. Well, I mean, I know he's getting up there in age, and the recent passing of his mother has obviously, took a toll on him, which is completely understandable. That was really bad on Thanksgiving, but he's coming off the bench,
emotional.
And he's been starting for a long time. Luckily, JaMychal Green is stepping in for him and playing well. He had 14 and 10. I just saw that 14, 10 and 2, and I think Zach had 14 and 7. I think is what that said.
Yeah.
And 14-7 for Zach. I mean, that's great numbers for him coming off the bench. I mean, they just shut him down on defense, man. They're big. They have a bunch of big guys. And KD and Draymond and Pachulia. I don't really care for Zaza Pachulia, to be honest with you, but I would have rather had Bogut still with the Warriors. But I mean, yeah, they didn't let him shoot threes, and what's his name? Troy Williams and Troy Daniels came in for Memphis and played well. Andrew Harrison's been playing well. One of the Harrison twins from Kentucky. He's stepped in for Mike Conley and done very well. I don't know when Mike Conley's supposed to be back, but I don't think it's anytime
4 months
soon. Is it still 4 months from now?
That's what happens when you get a huge contract, right? Always seems to happen.
Right.
4 months when he got hurt.
Okay.
So,
well, he's getting up there in age too, so
it's been about 2 weeks, hasn't it, since he got hurt?
Maybe a little longer, but he's getting up there in age just like Gasol and Randolph are. So it's pretty good that they're having guys like Daniels and Williams and Harrison come in and play this well against in my opinion, the best team in the league, and I mean beat them by 21. It's pretty impressive.
Well, with the defense that Golden State played, that Memphis played, I think Golden State actually played really pretty good defense, but some odd reason they couldn't hold them from scoring because they had 8 blocks and 6 steals.
Yeah, all 5 of their starters had double digits.
Yeah, but I think one big thing for Golden State was they actually had 15 turnovers last night.
Yeah,
so
definitely that's not good.
You can't turn the ball over 15 times and expect not to win.
No.
So they're going to blow out the next team they play probably.
Yeah.
Tonight, I think they played the Timberwolves tonight.
Yeah.
So
I
don't know. Karl Anthony Towns might show up.
Hey, they beat them last year, didn't they? Isn't that who beat them last year when they went 35-0?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. 39-0.
24-0.
24.
The Bucks beat them. Oh, okay. I knew it was one of those MI teams.
All right. Well, now we're going to move on to the Spurs. And what's up?
You were saying, what does the NBA have to do to stop the Warriors? And like you were saying, that defense they played. And I'll go back and put it this way. What I've noticed that, and I hate to I don't mean to bring this up as bragging, Garrett, because I mean, I'm a Cleveland fan, but I've noticed that the past 2 finals, the way Cleveland has just pretty much been up in Steph Curry's face, Klay Thompson's face.
Well, yeah, you can't let them shoot the ball.
Yeah, I know, but if they like how Golden State last year was complaining about them getting held, they felt like they were getting held.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the way you have to play them. You have to rough them up and get in their face.
And they got a lot of fouls called too. And so this year, if they do the same thing, they're going to be watching for us. So I don't know if I think Cleveland's going to have to take a different. I understand what you're saying. I agree with you.
With the way, even if you did get fouls called, that still throws them off their rhythm.
Yeah.
And not letting them get those shots up. It still throws them off the rhythm.
You just have to be careful with who gets the fouls because Amon Shumpert could go out there and take 2 or 3 in the first half, but Kyrie can't go out there and take 2 or 3 because Steph's still going to come out there and the next half he's going to attack him and draw the foul. Mm-hmm. I mean, I just think they're too smart. But you see
where I'm talking about.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
You have to rough them up and get them off their rhythm, and that's how you slow down Golden State.
Other than last night, I don't think any other team can play them that way other than the Cavs because Golden State's very smart and they're we'll
find out in a couple
all
weeks.
of their starters other than Zaza. I mean, their basketball IQ is extremely high, just like LeBron's is. And I just don't think you can play them that way because they're going to come right at you and they're going to draw that foul and they're going to foul your best player out if they can.
If I don't have work Christmas, let's electric chair the Cavs Warriors game.
I'll be in Vegas for Christmas.
I'm not saying I'll be doing other things for Christmas.
Like Christmas, maybe.
Yeah, like Christmas, man. So
is there something important on that day?
Well, I work, so
and I'll be going to church. So last topic is, why don't we ever talk about the Spurs until it gets closer to the playoffs? They are a team that always seems like they don't.
Because their uniforms are boring.
Well, is that what you think it is?
That's what it is. I mean, they're just not.
It's because they play fundamental, basic basketball.
I love it, but they're just not exciting.
Nobody talks about them until they play a team like the Warriors
because they're gonna do well. They're gonna make a 2 or 3 or 4 seed.
The reason why is because we've just become. I think it's just because everyone just expects them to win their division, expects them to get a top 2 seed in the playoff. It's just become a natural.
We know with Greg Popovich still there,
they're going to win 50 games.
The big 3 is done. That's over. But Pau Gasol, LaMarcus Aldridge, Kawhi Leonard, Jonathan Simmons, they still have good players.
Well, what we were just talking about and what a good defense can do for you and how Memphis actually, I don't think I've seen Golden State get shut down like they did last night.
Yeah.
They got held to 89 points. And when Greg Popovich gets a hold of that tape, what do you think he's going to do when they face him in the playoffs? That's going to be the most... This is the thing about the Warriors, that no matter who they play, they can play their own brand of basketball. And this is the whole NBA. But when you play the Spurs... You have to play fundamental basketball because they are the they are the Alabama of the NBA.
No,
if you make a mistake,
demand perfection.
If you make a mistake, then they're going to basically feast off that.
Yeah.
And Greg Popovich is going to get a hold of that tape. And with the best defender, you had Tony Allen, and if you have this Memphis team, maybe Golden State was just off. I don't know, but
it was an off night.
But when you have a defense like the Spurs and
can't make mistakes,
and I'm drawing a blank on his name, Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah. When
you have a defender like that, and no matter who's hot on that night, you can easily switch in the middle of the game.
Yeah.
So I honestly, after I saw these 2 losses by the Warriors, I'm actually withdrawing my prediction for the Warriors to make the finals. I'm going to say it's the Spurs.
Spurs?
I say Popovich.
Off of one game. All right.
Well, no, I said 2 games.
I haven't.
But I just got a feeling. I got a real good feeling about Popovich.
You also picked Washington to beat Alabama.
Well, guess what? Everyone calls me crazy, but guess what? Hey.
We're all dead set on the Warriors getting there again. I think they will, but I still think that we haven't seen who the best team out of the Western Conference is these past 2 years because we haven't seen the Spurs play them yet in a Western Conference Finals.
Yeah.
And I've been dying to see that.
But that says something about the Spurs not making it there, so.
Well, last year, the first time, I think that was just luck on Chris Paul's part, hitting that game winner against them in Game 7.
Yeah.
And then last year...
Chris Paul's good, but...
Last year, the Thunder were just a hot hand with Katie and Russell Westbrook.
Yeah,
And I know that makes you cry, Dylan, but
it's all right. You still got Russ. But look, yeah,
We've got accolades, not titles.
yeah. There you go. My thing is that why don't we talk about the Spurs? One, I'm being funny, but at the same time, I am being a little bit serious. Their uniforms are very boring. San Antonio is a boring city. It's a city for old folks. It's a city for people
Andy Alamo.
to go to when they retire.
Andy Alamo.
There's, it's not Houston, it's not Dallas, and the Alamo, Dylan.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you.
History lesson, man.
Thank
I really wish the Raiders would go there.
That'd be so boring.
No, it wouldn't.
That's such a boring
Hey,
place.
that would be the first city besides Pittsburgh for
They-
all their
That'd be
for all
yellow,
their
black and
professional
silver, black and silver.
for all their professional teams to match colors.
Yeah, they might as well be the Shreveport Spurs. I mean, that's like San Antonio is just not.
Hey, we got the boardwalk
Yeah, they got the boardwalk in the Alamo. What else?
and Independence Bowl.
What else?
We got the Independence Bowl.
Yeah, we have the Independence Bowl. Therefore,
Hey, that's gonna be good this year. Actually, I think that's gonna be a decent bowl game. But all right, y'all, that's it. Anything else y'all want to add about anything?
Spurs are boring, but they're good.
No, I'm good.
Okay, we're gonna do this at the end of everything.
Gary Danielson, please.
Today,
don't come back.
today we're starting a tradition. At the end of every podcast we do, we're all going to say one thing that we learned today. So, JD, what's the one thing you learned?
That Garrett really does not like Gary Danielson.
All right, what's one thing you learned?
This is tough. You go first. You go.
I learned that Mark Cuban probably does too much cocaine.
Yeah. All right. That was too fast. I learned that you still, in your heart of hearts, believe that Washington will beat Alabama.
I do.
I was
Nothing's gonna
hoping
change it.
once we came back for this one that you would think, oh well, that was probably pretty stupid of me. But no.
You know what? Just like Jesus was, I'm a guy who stands out. in
Okay,
everything he
Dylan.
says.
All right.
So,
All right, Dylan. That's all for today, folks. Thanks, y'all. Thanks,
but
y'all.
as always, y'all appreciate y'all being here. As always, Zach, thank you for running the boards. Katie, thank you for being here and just
Thanks, Katie.
sitting back there and just being yourself.
Can I have your phone number?
They're dating, by the way. All right. So anyway, again, thank you all for watching, and as always, God bless. Boom! Actually hit it this time. Okay, yeah, there you go, Jay. Too cool to do everything else. Too cool for school, too cool for everything else, right? Is that what it is?
Dang, Slant, you gonna break that glass? Can we do another one? How long was it?
That wasn't.